By training, I'm a clinical psychologist and I work at ORYGEN, which is the National Centre of Excellence in Youth Mental Health in Australia. So basically my work relates to the early intervention area by looking at how we can better help young people get back to school, get into work, or make the transition between school and work, because we know that for many young people, particularly those affected by psychosis, that transition is really difficult. People can make it with the right assistance, but if they don't get that assistance, very often they end up graduating through various forms of welfare and ultimately not reconnecting with the workforce. And sadly what that means is not reconnecting with their goals and ambitions in life, often being socially isolated and marginalised, not having the economic means to participate, which, it sounds kind of jargonistic, but it means you can't afford to go on a date, you can't afford to go to the movies, you can't afford to buy the things you want to buy, and that's hard for people. So whilst we focus on the work and the school outcomes, really what we're trying to do is help people to be part of the community that they want to be part of. I think there's a few key things that would be great if they were more commonly known. The first is that we can identify people very, very early in the course of these illnesses, and that great treatment is available early in the course of the illness. It's interesting that we are not at all surprised by the idea in physical health that if you intervene early you'll get a good outcome. But that message still hasn't really penetrated widely around mental health. And yet we know that people with all kinds of mental illnesses can go on to lead really productive, really fulfilling lives if we can give them the help really early. I suppose not surprisingly, given the area that I sort of work in, both here at the iFever and iFizz satellite meetings and at various other conferences that I've been at over the last, decade, has been the rise in the focus on these functional outcomes, that people are saying that it's no longer sufficient just to concentrate on ameliorating the symptoms that people have. We've got to go beyond that, and given that mental illness affects every part of your life, we've actually got to address those other parts of life in our response to mental illness as well.